Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to be kicking off this brand new explainer series right here at BR Literary Corner. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, if you're an English literature or BS English student, well, you've landed in exactly the right spot. Today, we're embarking on a super important, honestly fascinating journey into the literal building blocks of writing. Consider this explainer your foundational orientation. You see, literature, it isn't just about passively reading a story, right? It's about uncovering the hidden architecture holding that story together. And throughout this series, we're going to totally elevate how you read, how you think, and ultimately, how you write about literature.
So let's take a really quick look at our agenda for today's orientation. First up, welcoming you to this series. Then, we'll define exactly what literary terms are. Third, we'll look at why they actually matter for your studies. Next, we'll outline what you can expect as we move forward. And finally, I'll be turning it over to you.
Welcome to the series, kicking off the literary terms journey.
Section 2. Defining literary terms. What are they exactly?
Okay, let's dive into this, because before we can start mastering these tools, we really need to understand what they are fundamentally and kind of clear up any misconceptions out there. Basically, literary terms are the special words used to describe the techniques, elements, and features of literature. Now, I really want you to think of these not just as, a boring list of vocabulary words you've got to memorize for some pop quiz. No, they are like a secret decoder ring for any piece of text. They are the proper academic names for the specific tools a writer pulls out of their toolbox. Think about it like this. When a master mechanic looks at a car, they don't just see a metal box on wheels, right? They see spark plugs, alternators, pistons. Well, when we look at literature, we need the exact right words to describe the engine that makes a text actually work.
In simple terms, this is about understanding how writers create meaning and make their writing effective. Whether you're studying a poem, a novel, a drama, or a short story, you are inevitably going to come across the specific techniques the author is using to make you feel a certain way, or to grasp a really complex idea. Instead of just writing in your essay, "Oh, the author made the scene sound scary," literary terms give us the exact language to pinpoint how they did it. Maybe it was their use of vivid imagery, or maybe a sudden, jarring shift in syntax that actually built that suspense. It's all about knowing exactly what the writer did and why it worked so beautifully.
Section 3. Why literary terms matter. The benefits for your studies. Now let's talk about the real, tangible benefits here, because at the end of the day, you want to know how this applies to your own success as a literature student. So the crucial point is, these terms are quite literally your greatest academic asset. Mastering them helps you deeply understand texts. It allows you to analyze a writer's technique with laser precision. But honestly, perhaps the biggest perk for your academic career? It empowers you to explain your ideas clearly, which directly translates to writing significantly better answers in your exams. When you confidently drop the correct terminology into your essays, it elevates your entire literary analysis. It proves to your professors that you're not just casually reading. You are a trained, observant literary critic who truly knows their craft.
And what's really cool is how universal these tools are. If you're studying BS English or English literature, you're going to be using these terms constantly all across your syllabus. They're absolutely essential, whether you're breaking down rhythmic choices in poetry, analyzing dialogue and stage directions in drama, tracking narrative arcs in novels, unpacking short stories, or diving deep into high-level literary criticism. You literally cannot navigate these core subjects effectively without this specialized vocabulary.
Section 4. What to expect next. The roadmap for the series.
Now here is our golden rule. This is how we're going to tackle this massive mountain of information together without it ever feeling overwhelming. Ready? 1 literary term per lecture. That's it. We are absolutely not going to overwhelm you by throwing 20 definitions at the screen in a single sitting. Every single term gets its own dedicated spotlight. We'll break it down in a really simple, approachable way, and most importantly, we're going to look at crystal clear examples so you can understand it and remember it effortlessly. We want these concepts to stick with you for your entire degree, and this focused, bite-sized approach is absolutely the best way to make that happen.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer breadth of what we'll be covering. As you can see, we've got our core techniques, things like simile, metaphor, personification, imagery, and symbolism. Then we'll step it up a notch to advanced devices. So we're talking irony, allegory, allusion, hyperbole, oxymoron, and paradox. And of course, we're going to dive into structural elements too, like foreshadowing, flashbacks, and satire. We are covering all of this and a whole lot more. So you'll definitely want to stick with the complete series because missing one explainer really means missing a vital piece of your literary toolkit. Every single one is a building block.
Section 5. Over to you. Join the conversation.
So, before we wrap up this introductory explainer, I want to leave you with a quick question. Which literary term has always confused you the most? Or, hey, which one do you think is the secret weapon of your absolute favorite author? Let me know in the comment section below. I would seriously love to hear what you're most eager to dive into, and to see you actively participating in this literary community we're building right from day one. And that is a wrap for today's orientation. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and like this explainer, share it with classmates who might need a little boost, and make sure you subscribe to BR Literary Corner. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss a single step of the journey. Starting next time, it's one term, one focus, one step closer to mastering literature. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll see you in part 1. Allah Hafiz.